Child Jordan Peele and Lee Daniels couldn't come up with a better scheme than this shit.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
Girl, it's been a long week, but y'all already know what it is. Girl, it's time for another King of Reese TV video. And girl, let's get to the tea. Wendy. Girl, they said you is faint after receiving news that your husband had a baby, girl. She Girl, you would have thought that Kim Burrell made her trip over her ankle or something. Girl, it's too much. So you all heard the rumors about Wendy Williams, all the stuff that's been reported the last couple of months. From her departure on the show to coming back to departing again and coming back. So now it seems like that she's about to take another break until like I think the middle of April. So now it's being reported that she has relapsed and she had a situation and she had to be rushed to the hospital. Girl, you can check out the blog on kingofreese.com. Girl, now this is the news right after the situation with her husband, like her husband apparently, you know, the side chick had a baby. And Wendy is not dealing with it well. They said, like, sources close to Wendy are saying that it's a situation that's written out of the girls' trip. But good sis is just not realizing that, you know, girl, you getting cheated on. Like, everybody's saying, like, that you're being cheated on except you. And it's kind of hard to believe, but stuff like this happens. I think Wendy really does not see her life without him. They're saying that Kevin has been on set. Like, even throughout this, he was still on the set. You know, he be working and doing stuff with the Wendy Williams show. But girl, this shit is a mess. So many people are asking, why are we so hard on Wendy instead of Kevin? But I think that's because Wendy, I think there's two things going on. I think that's because Wendy has been so kind of like ruthless in the past, and she spreads, like, she talks about the gossip of what's going on with everybody else's life, and she's a celebrity. Kevin is a celebrity. Like, girl, I don't even think he has a Twitter account or anything. So, like, he does, like, nobody knows him. Like, this is your husband or something. And we want Wendy to be strong. On the other hand, people are ready to drag Wendy. Like, girl, you've been spraying folks all the time. So now it's time for you. Like, girl, I'm like scared. Wendy Cole's gonna be talking about my dirt. I'm telling you now, girl, anything else, I'm using CPN numbers and CPA numbers and everything to pay this car note and stuff, so. But in the end, I have no ill will for Wendy Williams. I want her to find her way. I want her to, like, just get over this whole situation with Kevin. I know it's a hard process because she has, like, built so much with this man. But Wendy, girl, it's kind of being detrimental to your health at this point. And I really think that your show is in jeopardy of being canceled or like remixed or something. Like, it's going to be remixed to Ignition, okay? And they're going to take the keys. Fox going to take the keys and let somebody else drive it. So sis, you got to figure it out. Like I told you all several videos ago, like, I really can see somebody else, like, taking over Wendy's job because Wendy's not adding anything more to it. Like, the interviews and stuff are cute, but it's just like somebody else at this point can do it. And then she's announced that she's taking a break, and it's just like, I just think at this point it's just like, okay, girl, like, you might need, like, you cannot keep disappearing and coming back and disappearing and coming back, and then to come to find out what you're disappearing for. Like, we thinking it's coming from Kevin. We're not believing no more of this, what's going on with your health. Like, girl, it's something else every week. So Wendy, just be honest and be like the people will be ready to support you. You come out and just say, like, look, I'm trying to deal with what to do with my husband. Like, just be honest. Like, Wendy, you got all this stuff you're offering to celebrities, but you can't even take your same, like, sometimes it be like that. So I'm gonna just shut up. I'm gonna shut my fat ass up. So as you all know, I am throwing a Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion watch party, girl. They just dropped the trailer for the reunion, and it's like, Cynthia ain't taking no mess. So if you're interested and you're in the Atlanta area, please go to kingofreese.com/shop. Get your tickets for the reunion watch party. So if you are in the Atlanta area, please go to kingofreese.com/shop and get your tickets for the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion season 11 watch party. Girl, we're gonna have good drinks, conversation, tea, all that. Get a chance to meet me, take pictures, all of that. I'm so excited. If you're having a problem with getting tickets or you're saying that you ain't got enough money, please email me at justin@kingofreese.com and we're gonna get you some tickets because there are some people who are sponsoring some. So join me that night. Can't wait to see you. But let's talk about the reunion trailer real quick. It looks like Cynthia's not taking no mess from Nene. She is just completely over. She's just like, girl, we gonna fall out over this mess. Then let's just fall out. Like, Cynthia's just like, girl, this has been too long. I've been up your ass, in and out, like burning friend contracts. I'm over Nene. So Nene is apparently mad at Cynthia for Cynthia supposedly inviting Kenya Moore to her event, and Cynthia saying, I did not invite her, somebody else did. She came, and even if I wanted to, I can. Like, you can watch how Nene's being called out, even for like putting her hands on Portia, because I think that's what happened. Like the whole belt situation. Nene told me, so what you want me to do? Like, but we can't really tell from the trailer, because y'all know how trailers be misleading and like the reactions be gutted out to make it seem like something else. But I cannot wait. It look like that everybody's holding her accountable, and it look like her little pet, little puppy, Marlo, gonna be sitting right next to her. I can't wait to get to the tea. And we're also finding out that Bravo is running a special about Portia delivering her baby. I cannot wait to watch that as well. And Real Housewives of Potomac is coming. Bitch, I am reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac. I will not be reviewing Love and Hip Hop Atlanta as of right now. Girl, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, I tried to watch that whole situation with, what's that girl name with the bleaching stuff? I can't do it. I cannot sit. I was literally trying to take a nap while my boyfriend was watching it, and I was just like, I was having nightmares because just looking at Spice talk about, you know, what is going on, like this colorism conversation that is just garbage. It's just like, I understand what she's trying to do, but I just don't trust VH1 to have this conversation. I just don't think y'all are prepared to do it. And then Mimi in this whole situation of being shot at and all this and robbed, and Rashida talking about Cannon, and it's too much. So you all know they are doing a Surviving Cardi B. They're not doing no documentary. But the girls are going around having a conversation about Surviving Cardi B because of a video that has came back up. Apparently Cardi B went live like some years ago, and she talked about how she drugged men and she would rob them, and she had to do a lot of stuff to get where she's at now. And you know, it is what it is. Like, she did it. So people are saying, well, girl, her ass is Bill Cosby, her ass is Bill Cosby, and putting her the same lane as R. Kelly and other abusers. And I'm just like, wait, hold on. Now, we can call out Cardi B for their behavior, but we're not going to sit here and put her in the same situation, the same class as a R. Kelly or a, who else did they say, a Bill Cosby. Because it does not seem like Cardi B never did say that she had sex with him. She said she, like, making it seem like they were gonna get sex out of her, and she didn't, and she drugged them and like they went to sleep, and she robbed them. So that's like two different things. Yes, personally for me, I see it as wrong, and it is what, like, she did it. But if we're gonna also hold Cardi B accountable for like what she doing, like what she did, we also got to talk about these other trap artists, or lack thereof. And these other artists who have, you know, did a lot of other garbage stuff. You got Jay-Z has contributed to the crack epidemic. He talked about selling drugs and all that, like Jay-Z did that. Then you also have her husband who grew up in the suburbs pretending like he did some stuff he didn't. Now, you know that somehow they're gonna try to make this connection with Nicki Minaj and saying that, you know, Nicki Minaj made references to like doing some shady shit too. But Nicki already got enough, like, with being with a person who's known to be an abuser. So I'm like, girl, like, I don't know. I believe it is wrong, but we have to make sure that we understand where we're placing Cardi B to have this conversation about what she was wrong for what she was doing. Because if it's just her drugging these folks have like tried to, like, you know, wanted sex from her and whatever, and she's like, okay, girl, and then they fall asleep after being drugged or whatever, and she takes their money. Drug them, then I get some money. I don't think this is the same thing as somebody drugging somebody to rape them. I think it is definitely wrong, but when we're talking about somebody raping somebody, that's completely different. Like, we got to understand that, because honestly, girl, so many of these companies are robbing our ass every day out of like money and everything else, like these banks, all this type of shit. But that's how capitalism works. I just think we have to make sure. So Cardi B is dealing with a lot. You know, she's apparently suing Tasha K, Unwind with Tasha K. Y'all know I subscribe to her. She subscribed to me. We both like each other. She is apparently suing Tasha K for defamation of character, because Tasha K has, you know, alleged and said some things from her apparently allegedly having herpes to, you know, her being a sex worker and all this other shit. It's a lot. It's a lot. I think, as a person living with HIV, I don't think it's ever anybody else's business to have a conversation about STIs and shit. I think that there's so much stigma rooted in that, and we have to be very careful of having a conversation like that. Nobody's there, unless you her doctor talking to her privately. I just don't think, unless she's coming forward saying some stuff, I just don't believe in that. All the other conversations Natasha has had about, you know, some of the stuff that Cardi has said. You know, Cardi has admitted to so many things, so some of the stuff Natasha is saying, like, girl, you've been saying that. And it's kind of difficult when we're talking about like the work is reporting and blogging and stuff. No matter how messy we look at it, like, people are watching and paying attention to it. So we just have to be careful and understanding what we're doing with, like, in the eyes of the law when we're talking about celebrities and we're interviewing folks who are talking about celebrities, and making sure that we're saying this is what the streets are saying, and not saying I know this because I know the truth and all that shit. It's so much. That's why I'm very careful of having conversations even now about talking about this. I'm like, girl, cause I ain't got no coin, girl. I already ain't paid no damn taxes, bitch. I ain't got no money for y'all to be snatching my shit up. But I think Cardi B adds so much like gas to the flames by continuously like calling these folks out. Like, I've already told you all several times that Cardi B does not do a good job of responding to critiques and stuff. Like, even when like it's a couple of folks saying that they didn't like something, she responds to it too quickly, and it's just like, sis, it's too many people like supporting you. It's too many people like rooting for you to be concerned about this 5%. There are always gonna be people who don't like you, and you just have to understand that. Move on about your business. So, girl, let's talk about our favorite GOAT, Jussie Smollett. So we've seen the news. We've seen that prosecutors have dropped the charges for Jussie Smollett, and they are saying, sis, like, girl, we ain't got time. So when the news first came out, I was like, okay, this is good. I was like, all right, I never wanted him to go to jail, period. I never wanted him to go to jail, but I did think that Chicago PD were going to try to make an example out of him with such a small little thing. Like, girl, nobody was hurt in this. Like, yeah, he probably tried to do this to make money or something, but was it needed for him to go to jail? No, I just didn't think so. That ended up hurting Chicago PD. And Jussie was not allowed to have a fair trial because you all had already tainted the jury pool. You had already came out and said all these things. You did this press stuff, like the superintendent was out here doing Good Morning America interviews and Good Night America interviews, just talking, and just were like, sis, what is the purpose? Like, what are you getting out of this? If all the facts are true, if everything is like happening how you said it, then just wait your day in court, and just go on about your business. But you wanted to personally get at him, and it looked like that you spent so much energy on this versus the other stuff that has happened in the past. Prime example, like the Laquan McDonald case. Like, you all worked so hard to try to, we didn't get any leaks, we didn't get any information or anything, wasn't stuff coming out. Rahm Emanuel, you tried to keep that video from surfacing, like, sis, and then now you want to get and do this whole like interviews and saying that this was a whitewash of justice or something. Like, what are you going, like, what make it make sense? So what you saying there, you're saying that ultimately that the justice system is only supposed to like benefit like white folks. That's what you're going like. When have we ever heard, how many times have we heard of a black person getting off on something? Like, we know they did it but got off on it. Like, how often does it happen? Like, the situations happen so rare that we know, like, we name them O.J. Simpson and something else. Like, girl, stop. And to put this man in the same scenario, in the same class as a O.J. Simpson who has murdered somebody, allegedly, to somebody who only just lied to benefit them financially is a stretch. It's a stretch. Now, ultimately, I believe that Chicago prosecutors said, look, we ain't gonna win anything out of this. We're going to be hurt by the public. The public's not going to mess with us. Let's just have him do some community service, forfeit his bond, and call it a day. Like, sis, it's not that serious for us to go out and try to like. It's not worth it. Now, I do think there was a deal made. I think the deal was to call it not a deal. Jussie Smollett's lawyer didn't answer some questions. Didn't tell us about the community service that he had to do. Like, it was a deal. It was a deal. Like, honestly, if it wasn't, and he wasn't, like, if it was true that he was attacked, I would think that he would press charges on the guys. I would think something would happen. Well, I think you would come at the city like, I'm gonna sue y'all ass because this truly did happen to me. But none of that is happening. I think they both just reached a deal and said, hey, like, we don't want no charges and we don't want to waste our time. Like, we just, like, leave it alone. But to see some of the people come out and to say like this, like he was exonerated, the police lied, it's just, I don't think the police lied. I think the police got the truth and there was no need to lie, and they just worked harder to prove their truth, which came in like, what was your reason for doing that? Like, why did you do all this extra shit? I think that's what it was, but I don't think police lied. Now there's a report that's saying that the Ansodario brothers, and I think if I'm pronouncing their name right, they got their hotel rooms paid by the police department. But they got flued out. All expenses are paid for. My guy Urban House said this shit on Twitter. I damn near screamed. But all expenses were paid for them. But that happens. That always happens. Like, and I really do think those two brothers are like, they didn't have no money. They don't, like, they really are broke. If you saw some of their videos and stuff, like, girl, the house, like the walls were dirty. It looked like it was twin beds laying around, like a bunk bed. Like, sis, they ain't had no money. As fine as they were, damn, they fine as hell. But I think if they truly wanted to beat Jussie Smollett for, like, because they were like biggest or whatever, I think they would have really beat his ass, considering that they're like, one of them is a professional boxer. Like, he just won a competition not too long ago. So, sis, like, make it make sense. But I know people gonna argue and do whatever they want to do. Yeah, I know Trump is mad. He talking about he wants the FBI to investigate this shit. Like, girl, you need to be worried about your own shit you got going on with Robert Mueller. Like, girl, get the hell out of here. But this is the type of president we have to go out here and say, sis, I want the tea. I want the tea, like, on his enemies and some shit. Girl, I don't. I think the only person who owes us an apology is Jussie Smollett talking about he is the gay Tupac. That's the only thing, because you ain't beat nobody's ass, sis. With that being said, let's talk about Kim Burrell built ass Burrell. Now, I know there was a fat phobic comment, and y'all gonna have to get on my ass about that, but Kim Burrell, let's have a conversation, sis. I'm just, every time I turn around, you are in the news or being trending because you are saying something. Like, several years ago, you made some homophobic remarks. Like, you lost a lot of money for that. Like, you lost a lot of deals, and you also got called out because your hypocrisy, because you were just on Frank Ocean's song. So it's just like, I don't know. But you know what? So many people want to say that Kim Burrell does not speak for the whole entire church. She does not do this and that, blah, 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 blah. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of y'all are like that. A lot of church folks are like that. Y'all do this shit and y'all get in from these pulpits, not necessarily on the pulpit, and, you know, speak ill of another black woman to uplift another black woman. But some of y'all do that shit after the church, before you go to church, and texting while you're in the church and Facebook and stuff. And I don't think it's necessarily a church thing. I think it's just a human thing. And I think folks need to understand that just because a person goes to church and just because a person is on pulpit does not make them perfect. But some people try to make it seem like they are perfect because they go to church and they do all that. And when I say perfect, I mean, like, I don't do any wrong. I try not to defy God, but a lot of y'all asses do. Like, and it's okay. It's okay. And that's what I talk about, the hypocrisy. But in that moment, church aside, religion aside, Kim Burrell, she got on the stage and tried to uplift Leandria and talk down upon Fantasia and said that she's nobody Aretha Franklin. First of all, Kim Burrell, nobody is like, who is having this conversation and saying that? Like, who is saying that? I don't know too many people. Fantasia has done the work. She has, like, very talented artist. Fantasia is everything. Every time it's like a person passing away or something in the church or something, like, Fantasia is there, and we know she's gonna do a tribute, and we know it's gonna be good. But y'all do these, like, women like that, and y'all only use them when it comes to that shit, but y'all don't, like, when it comes to other stuff, y'all don't want to. Fantasia is very talented. Leandra is very talented as well. But Aretha Franklin had a very close relationship, a friendship with Fantasia. She talked about her several times. She sang at the woman's funeral. And honestly, Fantasia is not going to be doing a biopic for Aretha Franklin. You got the wrong person confused. But your heavy boot ass got in front of that damn chick so ready to talk, like, ready to just be messy. Just because I'm just like, girl, why? What did you get out of, like, doing that, honestly? But we already know what type of person Kim Burrell is. This is her first time. You remember where the audition she had on the BET Gospel Show, where this guy was, you know, auditioning, and Kim Burrell and I can't think of the other queen name. They were both talking and kikiing while this man was sitting here trying to get critique, and he just called him out. So, like, every time, and I'm not gonna spend my time going in on Kim Burrell, talking about how her ankles is messed up, and, well, I did a little bit, but I'm not gonna be talking about her tattered wigs. I'm not gonna talk about the fact that she's not making no money. Kim Burrell realizes all of that. There's no need for me to add anything else to her and dragging her for whatever is left. I've already dragged her. Like, sis is already feeling the dragging of real day life. Nobody's booking Kim Burrell to do anything. Kim Burrell doesn't have anything coming out. She's around here doing little small events with in front of a damn iPhone 5 or iPhone 6 camera. Like, girl, that's all you are. You could have built your platform. You could have built your brand. You could have built yourself besides your big. You could have built yourself to be a bigger person, but you are just really a bitter ass individual, and you will continue to be like that. And girl, that's just what the tea is. I want to also end this on Tokyo Vanity. Like, Tokyo Vanity says, you in this whatever you got going on, just shut up. Like, the Instagram live, you trying to tell us what is and what's being put on kids and this and that. Let me tell you something. Coming from someone who grew up in a two-parent household, a male and female, a husband and wife, all that, I was introduced into so much heterosexual bullshit, so much, like, throughout. I didn't even see any, like, gay anything until, like, I think almost like middle school or something. And even then, I still had the desire to want to be with the same sex. Don't talk about stuff that which you don't understand. You might want to do a little bit more reading and trying to understand it. The same thing, I had a conversation on Twitter earlier today about fat phobia and how we need to unpack and unlearn certain things that we're saying, how we looking at slim folks eating big ass, ginormous ass burgers and stuff, how they be doing these little, what are they, like, challenges, eating some shit. But the moment a fat person is doing something like that, we look at it disgusting as unhealthy. Like, there's so much, and I really want you all to go to kingyreach.com and search thick versus fat. One of my good friends wrote about it, and we need to, like, it's so much. Tokyo Vanity, I want you to do some research. I want you to understand the shit that you were talking about. That's it. I'm not giving y'all too much of anything. It's a new year. I done paid my rent on time. I'm happy. A lot of stuff is going on. A lot of trips. I'll be doing a lot of stuff in April. Y'all know Adrian's birthday party is coming up on the 19th, as well as I'm hosting a karaoke HIV testing night. That same night from 7 to 9. I will give y'all details on that. Also, I'll be throwing my Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion watch party on that, what is that, first Sunday, April the 7th. I got that going on. And we're in talks of going to California to speak at this college in Bakersville, California. So much going on. When I get a chance, I'm gonna put all this stuff up and make sure it's on all the sites, and we're sitting here doing what we need to do so y'all know where we at, how to get in touch, and how to get the tickets. So I love y'all so much. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Tell me how you feel about this video and the other things that's been going on this week. But you may want me to talk about Friday if I feel like doing the video, because my ass might be having some creative burnout. But I love y'all so much, and I'll talk y'all later on tonight. Bye.
Another time. Go one more, right there. Now take your feet off the brake. And then just
and put both of your hands on the wheel.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
He thought he was you, man.
Now turn in this lot right here. Turn. Just turn. Slowly. Slow.
Oh my goodness.
Let me
Okay. Hit the brake.
brake.
Damn. Let him out.